Craig Cavileer, C-R-A-I-G, C-A-V-I-L-E-E-R.
And your title?
President, Silverton.
Tell me a little bit about what happened today at the meeting.
Well, today was a unique meeting for us. This has been a very difficult time in the economy over the last year and a half or so, and last year we asked our team members in October to take a mandatory pay cut across the board, which is a very challenging thing, number one, to ask, and number two, very difficult to execute. And we did that. All of our team members took great sacrifice and took these pay cuts, and basically have sacrificed their time and their energy to really give back to Silverton in an effort to cut our costs and continue to respond to this declining gaming and hospitality tourism market. And today was a kind of a featured moment. 9 months into the downturn in the market, we determined that, through their commitment of a kind of great sacrifice personally, and then other cost cuts that we were able to make throughout the property, totaling over $10 million in annual cost cuts, that we were basically starting and beginning to operate a model that made sense even in this difficult environment. And that it was time to reinvest in our team members. They've given enough, it's time to reinvest back in them. And so we called a town hall meeting today to do two things. One, we wanted to announce that because of their hard work and their commitment, we were financially in a position to reinvest 50% of their pay cuts and reinstate those back to them beginning on August 9. And that covers almost 675 or so employees or team members of Silverton. So a really big statement for them, and they had no idea it was coming. They only know what they read in the papers, and that is that things are bad out there. And so I think we completely shocked and surprised them today with that announcement. The second thing, I think, in terms of featuring the point of the meeting was to let them know that it doesn't stop here. We're going to be reinvesting in kind of redesigning our culture at Silverton. It's so easy in this negative economic environment to be negative and be down and be really just unhappy with everything that's going on. And we're in the entertainment business here. This is supposed to be a fun place to come to. And we thought that what a great time in this moment to go back and reinvest not only in terms of our pay reinstatement, but also start investing in a real development of a company culture. And so we invited one of the leaders in company culture development and guest service culture development. That was Tony Shea, who's the CEO of Zappos here in Las Vegas. Zappos, of course, a worldwide company, and Tony was part of the building of that company to over $1 billion a year in sales. And Zappos has a very notable culture. Tony wrote a book about developing that culture and is on a book tour doing book signings all around the country. So we invited Tony to come and tell the Zappos story, talk about building a great guest culture, talk about building one in Las Vegas, and as important, or just kind of tying it all together, having them do a book signing for our team members, and we're giving away 900 books to our team members for them to read and enjoy, after Tony finishes with his story about Zappos.
If some locals have come by the place, maybe they've never stopped in, maybe they haven't stopped in a long time, what would you say to them to get them to come in and check out what's going on here?
Well, I think that what we're trying to do in this environment, we know people have lower discretionary income. Their spend is down in gaming. We're kind of in the valley at a 2004 level of gaming spend, and we're having to adjust our business model to that. What we can't adjust is our reinvestment and our commitment to our guests. So if you come to Silverton today, you'll find a great experience throughout the property. You'll find innovative promotions and giveaways, concerts, entertainment, great food and beverage value, whether it's Twin Creeks on a high-end dining, or it's eating in our 24-hour restaurants, or enjoying a drink at the Mermaid Lounge on a dollar drink night. And we're really looking and saying, we realize what's going on out there, we're going to respond to it, and we don't want to lose any customers. We want to gain. We want to take customers away. We're in the business of take customers away from our competitors, and so we need to offer things that make financial sense to us, but also make a lot of connections with our guests and giving them something that they're looking for, which is give me a great time and give me a great value, and I think Silverton is designed for that.
Thank you for coming today. I'm glad everybody's here. I'm glad that, although it's very difficult to see, I am glad to see us all in one room together. It's been quite a while since we've been able to kind of reconnect with everyone. I think it's been, gosh, I was reminded there may be 200 or 300 employees that have been reshuffling of the deck in Las Vegas as to who owns casinos, who operates them. There'll be new visions on, and what I want to do is reinstate at least partial pay cuts back to our entire team. And I said, for me right now, since we're halfway through the year, a partial reinstatement would be 50% reinstatement of the pay cut that I asked them to take last year. Effective on August 9th, I think I have it right, which is the beginning of the next pay period, your checks will reflect that investment made by Ed, and I want to congratulate you on that. And it was a lot of fun. However, we didn't do very well on the bottom line, and I think Ed said to me last May or June, as the top line was very high and we weren't making any money, he said to me, you know, Craig, I don't know if I can afford all of this success.
This place had great potential to bring in people like me, or people like my grandmother. I mean, it's so diverse. You know, I've owned my own business for about 5 years as an interior designer, and it was something I hadn't done before. I've done residential, I've done commercial.
What they do every day to contribute. I'm going to read their names at least. I'm going to tell you there's Brian Bennick, Jim Bowen, Celinda Conklin, Martha Ferguson, Kurt Golding, all of the, I almost said all of their credit. If something's wrong, it's their fault, and if something's right, it's their gain. So we all contribute to all the different initiatives around here. All right, I'm flying now. Oh, and Charles Williams. I love Charles Williams. He was on tonight. Probably you watch and wait and see. He'll be helping build and recreate the culture in Las Vegas and maybe even in the hospitality industry. But Tony's been coming to Silverton for a long time.
Giving a tour to an executive from one of the major record labels, and I asked him the same question, had he shopped with us before, and he said no, but he suspects his wife has, because these white Zappa